My name is Ryan Carter. Most people think I'm just another guy from the streets, a man who rides buses, wears old shoes, and lives in a small rented apartment. But what they don't know is that I own everything they see around them. Shopping mall downtown? Mine. The tech company that just made the news for $1 million contract. Mine too. And the company where my wife works. I own that as well. But I never wanted to be known for my money. Because I've seen what money does to people, how fake smiles appear when your wallet is full, and how love becomes a business deal. I always had one fear. What if someone loved me only for my money? So I made a decision. I would live like a common man, no luxury cars, no expensive watches, just me, and a plan. The day I met Emily on a rainy afternoon at a small bookstore. She was standing near a corner shelf, reading a book called Love Without Limits. She looked simple, pretty in a soft way. She wasn't wearing expensive makeup or fake jewelry, just jeans, a white shirt, and messy hair that somehow made her look like an angel. She caught me looking. "You're staring." She smiled. "I was just wondering if that book actually works," I replied nervously. She laughed. And from that moment, I knew something about her felt real. We talked about books, about life, about how hard it is to trust people. She said, "I want a life partner who will be with me in both sunshine and storms, not someone who disappears when money runs out." Those words stuck with me. Was this the kind of girl who would love me even if I had nothing? From coffee to commitment after a few months of talking, laughing, walking in the rain, and sitting on park benches with cheap coffee, I proposed. I had no ring. Just a flower I picked from a garden on the way. She said yes. Her father owned a small manufacturing business. They weren't rich, but they were respected in their town. When I met him, he asked, "What do you do for a living?" "I work part-time," I replied. He looked disappointed but didn't say anything. Emily held my hand and smiled. "We'll build our life together." I kept my real identity a secret, even on our wedding day. We got married in a small community hall. No big guests, no fancy suits. Just love. Or at least, that's what I believed. The simple life. We moved into a small apartment. I told her I was saving money for a business. She believed me. I would wake up early, cook breakfast, and take her to the bus stop. Sometimes we shared one umbrella. Sometimes we shared one meal. We had fights about bills, about the broken fan, about her wanting a better life. But every night, we still held hands and slept beside each other. Until things started to change. The spark fades. Emily began to talk more about money. My friend's husband just bought her a car. "Shh," she said one day. Another day it was, "Why can't you find a better job? Then maybe I should start working." Again, "We need more money." I supported her, said yes. She applied for a job at a corporate office downtown. It was one of my companies. Of course, she didn't know that. I made sure no one at the office knew she was my wife. Emma wanted to see how she would act in the world of money without knowing the truth. She got the job, and that's when I saw the woman I married slowly begin to fade away. Everything started to feel different after Emily began working at the company at first. She was excited. She would come home with stories about her coworkers and office life. I smiled and listened, even when I noticed. She never mentioned me, not even once, though I was the owner of the entire company. I kept pretending every day. I wore the same old clothes. Every night I made dinner with cheap groceries. I still picked her up at the bus stop, standing with an umbrella in the rain, waiting like a man whose heart was slowly getting wet too. And every day, Emily seemed to drift farther away. The man with the expensive watch's name was Mr. Coleman. He was charming, rich, and the CEO of the company, at least on paper. Of course, I was the real owner. He worked under me, though he never knew my true identity. Emily talked about him sometimes. "He's so confident. He smells like expensive perfume. He drives a Bentley." I listened quietly. I smiled. But inside, it felt like a slow burn. I was the man who signed Mr. Coleman's paycheck. Yet my wife looked at him like he was the king. One evening, she came home late. "Where were you?" I asked gently. "Team dinner," she said, avoiding my eyes. I didn't ask more. The change Emily changed her hairstyle. She started using more makeup. She began ordering clothes online, things we couldn't afford. I asked, "Where is this money coming from?" She smiled. "Don't worry, it's a gift from the office. They appreciate me." I said nothing. But I started noticing things. A text at 1 a.m. from Sir. A gold bracelet she never bought, her laughter on the phone when she thought I wasn't listening. And then one day, I saw it with my own eyes. The gift I had just finished a board meeting secretly held at the company's HQ. I walked to the parking lot from the back exit, the one employees rarely used, and that's when I saw it. Mr. Coleman, handing Emily a car key. A brand new white Mercedes stood behind them. Emily jumped with joy. She hugged him. He whispered something. She laughed and touched his shoulder. My heart stopped. Broken promises that night. She came home and said, "I got a promotion. The company's giving me a bonus." I smiled. A bonus or a Benz? She froze. Then she laughed nervously. "Did you know?" I didn't answer. I just looked at her. She looked away. That night we didn't hold hands. We didn't talk. She slept with her back turned, and I stayed awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering, was this the same girl who said she'd love me in sunshine and storms? The false accusation a week later, something worse happened. I received a letter. Official notice of investigation, workplace harassment complaint filed against me. By Emily. She had told HR that I made her uncomfortable. I got too close, and that I had a history of shady behavior. She didn't know I was the actual owner. She thought I was just another staff member in the system. It wasn't just betrayal anymore. It was war. The goodbye without words. I didn't respond. I didn't fight. I simply walked away from everything. I handed over temporary control of the company to my legal team, and I disappeared. No calls. No messages. I left Emily to enjoy her new world, with her rich boss, her new car, her fake luxury. While I walked back into mine, the world of true wealth, power and silence. Asterisk, after I left, I heard nothing from Emily. Not a call, not a message, not even a "why did you go?" It was like she had erased me, like I was never her husband, never the man who once waited outside in the rain for hours just to walk her home. I stayed silent. But I was watching. My team kept me updated on everything happening at the office. Emily had stopped wearing her wedding ring. She now came to work in luxury dresses. She rode the elevator with Mr. Coleman, and in the office they called her the boss's favorite. The pictures that broke me, one of my employees sent me a photo. It was Emily and Mr. Coleman at a private beach resort, smiling, holding hands. Another photo. Emily kissing him on the cheek at a dinner party. And the last one. Emily sitting on Mr. Coleman's lap in the same white Mercedes he had gifted her. I stared at the screen for hours, not because I didn't believe it, but because I finally did. She had chosen money. She had chosen someone who looked rich, ... while the real billionaire she once slept beside was left broken in silence. The flashbacks. Started having flashbacks. Her smile when we shared noodles on our rooftop. Her eyes when she said, "Even if we have nothing, I'll still choose you." Way she laughed when I gave her a rose from a roadside stall. Was it all fake? Or had love really died? Slowly, painfully? Ow. My heart wasn't just broken, it was ashamed. Ashamed that I believed in her. Ashamed that I thought money didn't matter to some people. The real plan? Begins. I wasn't going to take revenge like in the movies. No screaming, no fighting, no threats. I was going to let the truth hit her where it hurts most, her pride. I returned to the boardroom. My signature took back control of the company. Mr. Coleman didn't even know what was coming, and neither did Emily. Mr. Coleman's warning. One morning, my assistant told me Mr. Coleman had been spending the company's money on personal luxuries, including Emily's gifts. I smiled. Perfect. An internal audit began. Quietly, one by one. Secrets started coming out. Illegal spending, fake contracts, romantic bribery. Within 2 weeks, I called an emergency board meeting, and I made my return. The day she saw me. Again, they were both in the conference room. Emily beside Mr. Coleman, holding a file. When I walked in, you could hear the silent scream. Emily's eyes widened. Her face turned pale. Mr. Coleman looked confused. Who's this? The board members stood up. Mr. Carter, welcome back, sir. Sir, that one word broke her completely. I watched her lips tremble. You own this company? She whispered, nodded calmly. With no emotion, I built it. Long before you ever entered its doors. She looked at Mr. Coleman, who now looked like a child caught stealing. He stepped back. You're the founder? I smiled. You've been working under me this whole time. Everything starts to false. Security walked in. Mr. Coleman was asked to leave suspended immediately, pending investigation. Emily stood alone now, just like I did when she filed that complaint. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Ryan, I didn't know I stopped her. You knew who I was as a man. That wasn't enough for you, she cried harder. I made a mistake. I looked at her gently. No, you made a choice. The news spread fast. The true owner of Carter Corp returns. Emily Coleman's husband is actually a billionaire. Love, lies, and luxury, the hidden life of Ryan Carter. Social media exploded. Photos of me and Emily from our wedding leaked. Pictures of me in old clothes, riding buses, shopping in local markets went viral. People started calling me the billionaire who lived like a beggar in Emily. She became the center of shame. Her fall from the clouds, Emily resigned silently the next morning. No goodbye email. Oh, no farewell lunch. She just walked out of the company with her eyes on the ground, wearing the same luxury bag that Mr. Coleman had once given her. The one paid with stolen money. I heard people whisper as she passed by. That's the girl who cheated on a billionaire. She left him for a Benz. She ruined everything for nothing. I didn't celebrate her fall. I didn't enjoy her pain. Because once upon a time, I truly loved her. A final meeting a week later, I received a message. Please, just one chance to talk. No cameras, no people, just us. I agreed. We met at the same bookstore where we first met. She was already there, sitting quietly by the window. When she looked up and saw me, her eyes filled with tears. You look different, she said softly. No, I replied. I always looked like this. You just never really saw me. Tears, truth, and regret, she broke down in front of me. I didn't know you were rich. If I knew, I stopped her right there. And that's the problem, Emily. You wouldn't have loved the man. You would have loved the money, she cried more. I was tired of being poor. I was scared, I just wanted more. I leaned forward, looked into her eyes and said, and I just wanted someone who wouldn't change when money came in or when it left. She had no words, just regret. The divorce papers. I placed a white envelope on the table. It was silent between us. She opened it slowly. Her hands shook. Divorce, she whispered. Yes, I said. It's time. She wiped her tears. You really hate me now, don't you? I looked away for a moment, then back at her. No, I don't hate you. I just finally understand. You, the mask is gone. As I stood up to leave, she asked, Is there someone else? No, I said. There's only me now. It's the man you left behind. I walked out, not as a broken man, not as a heartbroken husband, but as someone who found peace in truth. Because sometimes the biggest lesson is not in getting revenge. It's in walking away with your head held high. Asterisk, it's been 6 months since I last saw Emily. The divorce was final. No drama, no court fights. Just 2 signatures on paper, and 1 silent goodbye that said everything words never could. She lost more than a husband after the news broke. Mr. Coleman disappeared. He left the country to avoid legal trouble. Emily. She lost everything, her job, her reputation, her friends. People who once smiled at her now looked away. The car? Gone. The money? Gone. Even her father's business, which I had secretly helped keep alive. I pulled back my support, but I didn't destroy her. I'd let life teach her what I could not. Where I am now, back in my world now. World of meetings, travel, expensive suits, and five-star hotels. But I'm not the same man. I've become stronger, quieter, wiser, and I've learned something. Money can buy almost everything, but not loyalty, not love, never character. The final message: I was invited to speak at a business conference recently. They asked me, "What's your biggest loss in life?" I paused, and then I answered, "The biggest loss in life is giving your heart to someone who only came for your wallet." People clapped. Some stood up. And I ended the speech with this: if someone loves you when you have nothing, keep them. But if they only love you when you shine, then leave them before your light burns out. Emily's letter. 1 week later, I received a handwritten letter. It was from Emily Ryan. "I don't expect you to forgive me. I know I broke your heart and destroyed your trust. But thank you for once loving me when I had nothing. I hope you find someone who sees your soul, not your bank account." Emily, I read it once, and I kept it in a drawer, not out of love, but as a reminder of what I survived. The final scene: one evening, I walked past the old bookstore again. The same place we met. A young couple stood outside laughing, holding one book and one umbrella. I smiled, because even after everything, still believe in love, just not the kind that depends on price tags. End of story. Moral: real love is tested in hard times. False love only lives in comfort.
Oh.
Choose wisely and walk away with dignity when you're not chosen back.